Simon Traves defends his Scottish and Frankie Wembley Jr. takes flight at Knockhill. So welcome to episode 2 of the Stock Car Show. This week we review what happened in Scotland and preview this weekend's meeting over at Bradford. Last week we ventured to Knockhill and Cowdenbeath for the 2025 Scottish Championship, which was held on the Saturday at Knockhill after we returned after 15 years away. Pleasantly surprised with the meeting. I thought it was very good, loads of action happening all over the track. Obviously it's streamed by 24/7 TV, so thanks to them for streaming it. But it was a very good meeting actually. Well, I'll just go as far as say a contender for meeting of the season, but that's just my opinion. Heat 1 ended superbly with a little battle between Simon Traves and Callum Thornton once again. This time Simon Traves coming out on top to take the first heat, but Callum got back to winning ways in Heat 2. In the final though, it was Simon Traves who defended his Scottish Championship with a faultless drive, just drove away from everybody. So a great drive from Simon. It was Jack France in second and Matt Newson in third, and in the national it was a similar story with Callum Thornton taking the victory. A massive rollover for Frankie Wembley Jr. in the Scottish Championship. He was just going through the order, getting close to the lead actually, and he got caught up with Catherine Harris on the exit of turn 3. Finn Sargent just behind as well, and went into a tyre. Up and over he went with a spectacular rollover, probably going to end the season as rollover of the season, and from some pictures I've seen, probably a photo of the season award for some people in that as well. Glad that he was all okay, got it all fixed, ready for the national, and raced against Cowdenbeath on the Sunday. So didn't damage much of Frank's ambition to win. It's very rare something stops him. Glad to see this one didn't either. Cowdenbeath started with a bit of action with Charlie Sauder and Henry Robson ending in the turn 1 and 2 race wall. That race was won by Catherine Harris in number 8. Her second meeting in a row at Cowdenbeath with a victory. Heat 2 was won by white grader Ollie Armstrong. I believe it's his first ever F1 meeting, but I could be wrong. I don't remember the name, I do apologise. But he took the victory in Heat 2, another great drive. And the final was won by Callum Thornton. If it was the Tarmac World Final this year, he'd probably be everyone's tip to win this season. He's been absolutely rapid, which is very good to see a young driver like himself taking on the more experienced drivers and getting the wins. And in the national, it was Scottish driver John Fortune, ex-Formula 2 world champion, taking the win. On to the points then, thanks to Stock Car Scene for putting them up, because I don't think Stocksnet has been updated yet. English national points, Frankie Wembley Jr. leads healthily over Matt Newson and Finn Sargent, with Callum Thornton now overtaking Tom Harris for 4th. Callum Thornton also with the highest average of a 40.4. World qualifying points gets closer. Frank's now overtaking Tom and leads by 8 points as we head into the final 3 rounds. It'll be between these two for the top spot, and one of them of course will decide which semi-final is where. Matt Newson and Finn Sargent, the gap between them two get closer and closer. Finn Sargent's had a very good season so far, so at the moment he's on the front row for a semi-final for the first time in his career, and Callum Thornton sits in 5th after his excellent start to the season. Knockhill and Cowdenbeath also saw the mini stocks and national saloons. The saloons were really good on the Saturday at Knockhill. I don't think they got as many cars on the Sunday, but it was still good to watch. And the minis had their Scottish Championship on the Sunday, won by Harry Sauder. Minis final on the Saturday at Knockhill in particular was a classic race that'll go down as one to be remembered. If there's a video on YouTube or something, go and watch it, because specifically the ending, a great race for the stars of the future, and it's just good to see that they're not scared of the bumper work and they put it in and create great racing from it. This week then, BriSCA F1 heads to Bradford, also featuring V8 hot stocks and unlimited bangers. At the time of recording, there is 43 F1s booked in, which is good to see. I thought we'd actually get a bit of less because of what's happening next week, which will be in next week's episode, but thankfully that's not the case. We've got quite a few. I say quite a few, we've got 43, which a lot this season for the Bradford meet, which is also a world qualifier. Booking list so far is Tom Harris, Matt Newson, Liam Gilbank, Lewis Hunter, Oliver Wadsworth, Mal Brown, Tom Brown, Craig Finnegan, Thomas Barmer, Carl Mosley, Sam Makim, Casey Enkelstone, Austin Moore, Dave Polly. He's making the trip to Holland on Sunday, I believe. So a busy weekend for Dave Polly, Jolyon Maynard, Carl Hawkins, Danny Wayman, Jack France, Lee Fairhurst, Joe Nichols, Paul Hines, Nathan Harrison, Isaac Beaumont, if I said that wrong, I do apologise, Jake Harry, Ash England, Bradley Blythe, Rob Plant, Danny Mitchell, Harley Holton, Niels Tesla, Joe Booth, Thomas Andrew, James Morris, Jonathan Davison, Frank Wimman Jr., Nigel DeCock, Freya Finnegan, Sid Fries, Craig Banwell, Sam Brigg, and we've got free Dutch of Mark Tesla, Jeffrey Pickett and Geordie Pickett making the journey over to Odsal. Obviously, as I said, something big next week. We will get to that in next week's episode, and I'll also make a prediction. But to have a meeting a week before on the same surface and still getting 43 cars proves that drivers are still well keen to race, especially for the world qualifying points. They all know now with 3 rounds to go, it's very close, and you need as many points as possible, because even if you're thinking you're safe, you're probably not. So that is this week's Stock Car Show. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the support on the last one. Every comment is great. Thanks for the subs as well. Thanks for views. It doesn't matter. We're trying to grow the sport. That's the main aim. I'm trying to get more information across. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week for the first proper big one of the season.